This video is brought to you by IXL, used by millions of students worldwide to get ahead in math, English, and more.
Writers draw on many forms of figurative language to make their words more powerful. One of these is personification. This is when you give human characteristics to something that isn't human, like saying a storm throws a tantrum or a clock refuses to stop ticking. Using personification adds energy and personality to your writing, making it more engaging for your reader and helping you highlight the points that matter most. Let's see how personification works in action. Check out this sentence. After a sudden stroke of inspiration, the author sat down and got to work writing quickly. That sentence is okay, but it's not very interesting to read, is it? Let's replace this phrase with some personification, like this. Now it says, after a sudden stroke of inspiration, the author sat down and got to work, her pen sprinting across the paper. Oh, that's much better. Saying the pen is sprinting across the paper makes us imagine the pen is a person who is running quickly. This makes the sentence more engaging by helping us envision how the pen moves across the paper. Plus, it helps highlight the point that the author is writing very quickly, rushing to get her ideas down. Now, let's take a look at some more examples and practice using personification for ourselves. Check out this sentence. We'll use personification to fill in the blank. As the sun began to rise, a ray of sunlight blank, and I rubbed the sleep from my eyes. Which of these could we use to add personification to the sentence? Streamed through the curtains or tickled my eyelids? Well, look at this one. Streamed is a verb that is often used to describe sunlight. Plus, it's not really a human quality. People don't stream through something. So this wouldn't be personification. How about this one? Tickled is a human behavior. It describes the sunlight as a person that can tickle someone. So this would be a great way to add personification to the sentence. Let's try it. Now it says, as the sun began to rise, a ray of sunlight tickled my eyelids, and I rubbed the sleep from my eyes. That makes the sentence much more interesting to read. Now we can almost imagine the sunlight softly hitting the speaker's eyes, gently waking them up. Let's check out another example. Here we go. The old oak tree, blank, in the corner of the meadow, its bare branches stark against the spring bloom. Which of these would add personification to the sentence? Sulked, loomed, or was rooted? Let's start with sulked. That means to be silent and bad-tempered out of annoyance or disappointment. This seems to be based on feelings, which are characteristic of humans, not inanimate objects like trees. So this is definitely a possibility. Now, what about loomed? It means to appear as a large and almost threatening form. That isn't a quality that only describes humans. It's often used to describe things that are large and threatening too, like a dark cloud looming on the horizon or a looming deadline for a big project. So this wouldn't provide the personification we're looking for. How about was rooted? Oh, that's a pretty common way to describe a tree since they actually have physical roots. So this wouldn't be personification either. That means that sulked would be our best choice here. Let's try it out. Now it says, the old oak tree sulked in the corner of the meadow, its bare branches stark against the spring bloom. This use of personification creates the impression that the oak tree is sad or disappointed that it hasn't yet begun to bloom. All right, let's look at one more. This time, instead of filling in a blank, we have a few sentences that have already been completed. Let's figure out which one uses personification. We have, by the end of our strenuous ride, our new bikes were caked in thick mud. A crowd gathered in the shadow of the skyscraper's broad shoulders. And shallow ripples spread across the smooth, glassy surface of the lake. Which one of these uses personification? Oh, it's this one. It uses personification right here. This time, instead of describing a human action the skyscraper takes, it gives the skyscraper a human feature, shoulders. This use of personification helps emphasize the fact that the skyscraper is very large and likely casts a large shadow. Now that we've explored how personification works, you're ready to weave it into your own writing. Adding personification will help bring your ideas to life.
Head over to IXL.com for more practice on this skill and thousands more videos in math and language arts.